Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. And today we are here at Dorney Park for a very special event. That's right, it's Winter Chill Out Day. Can't wait to see a backstage tour of some of the rides that would be included on this. Can't wait to see up close look at the Lightning Falls construction. I've been doing some updates for weeks now with about no updates, so can't wait to see the progress on that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. There's Snoopy, all ready for the rain. For our group, we are in Group Talon. Can't wait to see what's up with that. Right in the front here, they got a temporary shop set up with all the Hydra merch. Hydra is going to be a stop on the tour, so can't wait to see that. They've also got this interesting Talon piece right here with a piece of the roller coaster on it. I believe that is a restraint ratchet, so that is going to be $75. So if you're willing to have a piece of Talon, they'll be right there.
Here for 2025 Winter Chill Out at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom. I will say, give yourselves a round of applause because thanks to you, we are raising thousands of dollars for LVHN, Bradley Children's Hospital. Thank you very much. 100% of the ticket proceeds will go with Ann here and a big check presented by Snoopy ASAP. So we appreciate you being here today. Wish the weather could have been a little bit better, but I don't think that dampened any spirits. Maybe just your hoodies, your park apparel. Quick announcement before I get started. Bob Kane, the gentleman at the merchandise store, she's gonna model this for me. We've got some new merchandise for the season, and it is all available for purchase today. So if you're wondering, is that just a display or can I buy that? You can buy that. And I'd say the best time to do it is as you make your way out. Then you can grab, I love this by the way, grab a nice Hydra stuff. It has 5 heads. I don't know if anybody remembers the old one, but it had 2. This is much better. So you can grab these on your way out. There's also some new Iron Menace merchandise. And so Bob and Kim and team work really hard on developing this merch, and this hoodie's awesome. So make sure you grab that on your way out. Ann is actually going to address you inside of Whitewater Tavern where we're going to get started. But Ann, did you want to say anything while you're on the big stage? I don't want to take that away from you. It seems like quite the experience.
No, it's okay. I just thank you all for coming here today and being out here in the rain.
Mist. The maid of the mist.
So that was just a little snippet of the introductory speech gave by the PR manager of Ryan. We are now heading back to Whitewater Tavern for the official Winter Chill Out presentation. I don't believe there is filming allowed, so I will recap it after it is done. So right here is just a glimpse of what we will see throughout the tour, just some of the deconstructed rides. Right here is usually the wave swinger, so definitely interesting to see the skeleton of that.
A few moments later.
We are now on the park tour. First stop is going to be Hydra.
So the first one, this is like the block zone screen. It's like the normal running screen that operations sees throughout most of the day. It's a track layout, tells you if you have any errors, what modes you're in, and there are circles around it. If it's filled in yellow, that means it's currently occupied, and if it's empty, it's clear. And you'll see the green boxes, those are photo-wise, they'll turn red if it thinks it sees something there. This is a picture of the PLC. PLC is the programmable logic controller. It's basically the computer that runs the ride, right? So it has the programs in it, and it's constantly receiving information and then giving commands to open brakes or put platforms down and up, things of that nature. So this is what is interpreting the information from all the sensors on the ride, and it's telling the ride what to do at certain points based on train position and things of that nature. The very first screens I'm going to look for is the error display screen, because it's going to tell me what errors I have. It's going to give me an error number with a description. It's going to tell me a rough estimate on what it thinks needs to be done to correct the issue, and then it's going to basically tell me once the issue is rectified, how do I restart the ride. This is an example of a proximity and photo eyes screen, which is the sensors on the ride that read the positions of things. So you have your axle counters that monitor train position and how many cars have gone past. There are sensors on the cylinders for like the cones here at Hydra that tell it what position the cones are in, whether they're up and down, or they're leveled down or leveled up. So everything is being constantly monitored. All the lap bars have sensors on them, and then for redundancy, they also have photo eyes in each zone, so that if for some reason a sensor should fail and doesn't actually see the train there when it's supposed to, the photo eye is a redundancy that says, hey, there's something going on here, we need to check it out.
It is really weird seeing empty station without a train. We can also see some of the train bumpers over there. Really cool. Going down to Hydra's strict area right now. That's the log flume truss right there.
Do our safety checks to go to a train that is stopped. It also lets us into the low area. The ride is completely powered off. There are no trains on the track, so we are not in danger, so we are free to walk in here. We are going to go down under the Cobra Roll, which is in version number 4 and 5, right together. We ask that you do stay off the rocks, though, because it is very rocky, obviously. We don't want to twist an ankle. So please be careful. It is a little bit muddy, but not too bad.
Got some excellent views of Hydra from inside the restricted area. We are now going to be heading down this way. So one of the processes they do in the off season is to cover up any of the ride vehicles so that they don't get harm to any of the weather elements. So just a neat touch that they do during the off season. Or sometimes in the case of Enterprise over here, they just take the vehicles off entirely. Right here in the Carowin Grove is some of the ride vehicles. You can't really see them behind the picnic benches, but those are some ride vehicles for some of the kiddie rides with some tarped up stuff we don't really know about right now. There's the fire effect from Iron Menace, and then we got this sign right here for Viva La Fiesta. It looks really cool. We're now going to be going into a costume shop for the entertainment department.
Our seamstresses are hard at work throughout the entire operating season. As you walked by me, you saw we have our Alfonso heads, one from around the 1940s and the other one is from around the 1960s. And these were two Alfonso heads behind you, or behind the original ones, are the ones that we currently use in the park. So we have an Alfondo and then an Alfierdo, who we introduced last year during Hog. He was a great addition to of our performers' measurements that we take. So this was unfortunately not used in Hot Rhythm Nights last year, as this was for one of our vocalists who was a swing, but we didn't need to use a swing. What a swing is if a original performer is sick, they have to go on a vacation, whatever the reason may be, we have a standby performer that can fill in their spot, so we always have a show to put on.
Here's a better shot of all the Alfondo heads as well as the Steel Force mascot Morgan. Pretty cool, pretty cool. There's just another example of the ride unit tarping on the carousel. Right now can't really see it right now, but we are heading over to Talon. This is the shed where they keep all the trains in. This is where the wheel bogies are. Very cool.
Every winter, both trains will come through here. We'll take them completely apart. We'll put them back together. We're in that process now with the second train. First train's already done. It's back up in its bay. Stuff that we would do in a refurbishment, we would take all the parts apart and the pins and the shafts and all the welds and stuff that go around the trains, get inspected with a process called NDT, which is non-destructive testing. There's a sample of some of the equipment that's there and some of the stuff we use, but basically you take a pin from a wheel and you would spray it with a liquid solution. magnetize it and then look at it in a dark room under a black light. And if it were to have an imperfection or a crack, it would show up glowing green. There's kind of some pictures there that kind of shows what that looks like if we would fight something. And then yeah, as we're going through doing the rehab, we're also checking all the fingers and little parts. So up there on the bench, if anybody wants to look, we have a lap bar laid out. It has all the little fingers and stuff.
Right here is everything that makes up a restraint on Talon. Obviously, you got your main restraint right there. Some other components that ratchet in the restraint. There's a diagram of all the ratchets.
With the lap bar ratchets up here and the fingers, pockets here. They all kind of work together with the springs and clasps and close. I can close the lap bar if anybody wants to see what they're all. And you can't actually buckle your seatbelt till pair 3 drops. So we technically have 6 fingers holding you in.
All right, we are now heading up the Talon Maintenance Bay. Oh yeah, this is where it's at right here. You can see, not fully assembled train. You still need the protectors, the wheel protectors, but that is the first train fully assembled. What we saw was the second train. I guess technically train number 2 since it's in the second spot, but this is the full transfer bay. That's the transfer track right there. Got a good view of the park from here.
Storage and transfer areas. Feel free to walk around as I'm talking. I'm going to go over a little bit of our track inspection. Every day we do a visual track inspection from either the ground or the lift, wherever we can see. And then 4 times a year, B&M requires us, B&M's the manufacturer of Talon, for those who don't know, B&M requires us to do a close visual inspection, which is within 2 to 3 feet of the track. 90% of it we can do with man reaches, boom lifts, and the other 10% we just hook in and walk in. Once one of those inspections, so annually, B&M says that we have to verify torque on 5% of our bolts. We have roughly 8,500 fasteners on this ride, which comes out to about 450 bolts that we have to torque check every year. You can do it the old-fashioned way with an 8-foot long torque wrench, which is kind of tricky at 140 feet in the air. Or you can use a digital torque gun. It's kind of like a drill that you just pull a trigger and it loads the torque onto the bolt that you have preset, and off you go. Here is this beast. This is our new drone. With the evolving technology, B&M is realizing that they can count one of these inspections with the drone. You can get 2 to 3 feet within the track with that drone. Usually it takes 2 operators, 1 to operate the drone and 1 to operate the cameras. You have to be FAA certified as a drone pilot, which we do have a FAA pilot on staff. And then your camera operator has to be a level 2 NDT inspector, which you guys learned about downstairs.
Yeah, something this drone. Go around the track and check all 360 degrees all the way around, back and forth. And then somebody will just sit there and watch the video footage, just stuff that.
Right here is all the assembly shields for the wheel bogies. They aren't currently on the train, but pretty cool how they store them. Here's a better look at all the assembly shields up close. Just enamored at the size of them, how big the wheel assemblies are. Right now we are heading into Wildwater Kingdom for Lightning Falls construction and all the other improvements that they are making during the off season.
So for me today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about was these 2 buildings. So for those of you guys that may not remember, we're right here, we're at the entrance of the water park. And this building over here was Trade Winds, which is the main gift shop for the water park. And then over here, this was Subway and Scooters, which was the bar, the newer bar, right in the water park. So let's talk about Trade Winds first for a second. So Trade Winds is the largest gift shop in the water park. There's like a stall that's right there and a little bit of other little this is only the main, this is really the main gift shop. This gift shop rivals good time gifts at the Dorney Park in terms of how much money they're making. If you look at the building, you see like there's this bird's nest up here. This side of the park, like right where this runner is, this had been the entrance of the water park initially. So there's a ton of like electric and network and machinery that's in the top of this building. And we can't raise the building, we can't raise the ceiling. So if you remember, it's claustrophobic because the ceiling is really low in that store. It's at like 8.5 feet. And if you know anything about merchandising, we merchandise at the 8 foot and below mark. And above 8 feet is displays. So you can like see what you're looking for and you can like kind of directionally know what's gonna be in there. Swap the two buildings. Which in reality sounds so much easier than it actually is. And at the time I was like, oh, this is great. This is such a great idea. Oh, it's gonna be so simple, like no big deal. And then we started doing construction and I was like, oh, this is rough. This is a rough situation. So first we'll talk about what's happening here. So subway and scooters, we took out all the things that are in between to make it a straight shot. And we'll walk over there so you guys can see the construction. I can't have you cross the threshold, but you can like take pictures and look at what's happening in there. So we removed everything, made it a straight shot. If you're familiar with Steelyard Gifts, the merchandising style will be very similar to Steelyard Gifts, as in like it's in sections, there will be displays up top, it'll be really easy to shop. There will be one centralized cash wrap in the entire store, so it'll be much easier, it'll be shotgun style, it'll be very quick and efficient. We're also, as we walk this way, the other great thing about this is with this change, we're going to start to develop product that is very specific to Wildwater Kingdom. However, Schooners is a Dorney Park brand that we created. We named it, we created it. It only exists here at Dorney Park. There is, however, a bar brand that is across the family of parks, and it's called 21 and Colder. So this will become the 21 and Colder bar. What's great about this is that the construction that we're doing, and there's some pictures here where you can see what's going to happen, and if you guys want to look in the windows, you can see the construction. The 21 and Colder brand has style of merchandise that goes with items I throw up on the boards there. And then all of the drinkware will be branded as 21 and Colder. So we'll still have the frozen beverage as well. So it'll be a great setup. It's also a really great setup for the retail side because this store, for the whole store that it was, the storage for this was.
I'm going to be telling you about Lightning Falls Reimagined this year. So Lightning Falls was one of our older slides. It was put in 1989, so was definitely due for a refurb.
So that was an up-close look at the new Lightning Falls. We are now going to head into the water pump room.
I was working here already when it was built, so we've seen everything basically from start to finish. Filter pumps down in the corner there. We have 2 filter baskets. We clean those every day, sometimes twice. This is what they look like. We just pull them out, scrub them with a brush, put them back. If that gets too caked, it'll shut down. These are your slide pumps. This one's for Python. That has a strainer basket. That's your drop door slide. All these other ones are 1 for each bowl. And then that back one is Mat Racer and Jumpin' Jack. Mat Racer and Jumpin' Jack used to have their own pump. When they built this ride, they plumbed everything over here to combine it. Out at the pool, there's a big concrete tank called a surge tank. Water from the pool flows into the tank. All these suction pipes run out to that tank. So you're pulling from the tank as opposed to the pool. The advantage of that is if somebody lays on the grate, there's no suction. So nobody can get. Yeah. Remember when you were a kid, you were afraid of heights, right? Yeah. That can't happen here because it's all gravity to the tank.
So look at some of the filters and pumps for snake pits.
And it's actually on the smaller side.
Very cool, very cool. Right here's the chlorine tanks that he was talking about. About 250 gallons, right in that tank right there. Here's another angle at all those filters.
We just fixed that lightning falls, we fixed 2 brakes.
So along the tour, we explored the kitchen for the catering area. We got some pre-samples right here. This you can find at Iron Mill Grill. It looks pretty nice. This is also going to be at Iron Mill. And also their new fresh cut fries. That's going to be just overall on all the food area of the park. So we are now heading down the main midway for the conclusion of our tour. this was definitely a fun event. I would highly recommend it if you want to learn more about how theme parks operate, how the coasters operate, different rides like that. You also got to see many of the other rides that are deconstructed. That was kind of cool. But right now we are gonna head back to the main entrance shop. We're going to look at some of the merchandise there. There's some shirt that I wanted to look into, so we will update you when we get there. This right here is going to be a shirt rack. We are going to get this shirt right here. It has a great design of it, of all of the big four at the park. And of course, all this merchandise will be new for the 2025 season, so if you get out to the park, make sure to head down to the Good Time Gifts to check out some of this new merchandise. So that will do it for this video at Dorney Park. Definitely good to see new updates for the 2025 season. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you would like to see more theme park content just like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.